Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be talking about JavaScript strings. Let's get started. So JavaScript uses the string data type to represent text. So it's called a string because a text is treated as a sequence or a string of characters. So for example, we could type something out like hello, and this itself would be a string of 6 characters. Okay, well actually if we put in something like this would be a string of 6 characters. Okay, so 2, 4, 6. Now, for example, we can assign a string literal, okay, such as, let's do let greeting is equal to good day. And so then we can type out greeting, and again, it comes out as good day. Now you can also write string literals inside of single quotation marks, okay, such as this. Whoops. Or again, we could do something like let price is equal to $8. Okay. Now, for consistency, though, I'm going to actually stick with the double quotes throughout my videos. I have a tendency to prefer those. And again, we'll have some other reasons for that we'll discuss later on. Now, you can also do something like this. You can do, again, so we had price is $8, but you could also put in numbers. Okay, so I could do something like 4321, and notice that is now a string 4321. So, and this can be a string literal of a sequence of 4 numbers, okay? And we'll take some time looking at string operations right now. So we can join strings together. So if we do something like let first name is equal to Bob, let second name is equal to Ross, then we can say something like let full name is equal to, and we'll say something like first name plus last name, or I said second name, didn't I? That was silly, but okay. Now, one issue that we have with this is I can say full name. And if we notice something here, there's no space in here, okay? Because we didn't tell it that we wanted a space. So we could do that by doing, let's do first name plus, and then we put in a space here, plus second name. Okay, and now that gives us Bob Ross with a space in between. And here we actually put in a string consisted of a single space. Now we can also find the length of a string. So we can do something like word in here, dot length, okay? And it gives us 4. Okay, so we can actually use this. And if you notice here that this doesn't have any parentheses behind it or anything, this is a property of a string. Okay, so it's actually built into the strings themselves. Now you can also have a very long string. So let long string is, this is a long string. Okay, and we can do long string dot length here is 21. All right, now notice here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, notice that it's 21 though, and that's because it actually still counts the spaces. It's not just the strings, it also counts the spaces. So again, if we have just a reminder, okay, it is the strings, it's this whole string, and spaces count as its length. Now, we did all of this now, but what if, let's say that we want to actually grab a hold of a single letter from a string? Okay, so let's say let word equal let's do little. Okay, well, we can do word is little, and then let's say that we wanted to grab the first letter. Okay, well, we would use 0 to grab L, and notice this is the first L. You know what, maybe I should change this up and do word is equal to something that doesn't have repeated letters. So let's do question. Okay, so we do word of 0. That gives us Q. And again, our numbering system starts at 0. So if we wanted to get the U, we would say word of 1. Okay, and again, if we wanted the last one in the sentence, now what you can do is, so let's look at the length. Word dot length here is 8. So we may want to say, what if we go outside of it? Okay, so if we do word of 7, that will give us the N, right? Now what happens if we go outside of it? Let's go to 8. It gets undefined. If we go to 80, it's undefined because nothing exists in there. It is only those 8 characters long. Again, so if our numbering system starts at 0, then it goes all the way up to 7. Okay, so this 80 or this 8 is out of range. Now we can also grab multiple characters from a string. So let's do let sentence is equal to my name is Bob. Okay, and let's give it a period there. So let's say that we want to slice out name. Okay, so this is grabbing a substring, and this is where we're using the method of slice. So if we do sentence dot slice here and do 3 to 7, we get name. So we can actually go through and slice out each of these. Now, what the first argument in this parentheses here is 3. Okay, and that means we want to start at index 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is in. And then we want to go up to, but not include, index 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we are not including 7. Okay, so the net result would be a slice method that returns characters indexing from 3, 4, 5, and 6, giving us name. Now, another useful thing to have is what's called trim. So, and this is very helpful for when we start eventually doing some data analysis. So let's do let text input. So let's say you want someone to write something for you, and they accidentally put in a space. Or actually, you know what? We can actually do this way. Let's say first name, and they actually wrote space Robert with a space. Okay, so if we look at first name, notice that there are spaces before and after Robert. Well, we want to trim that. So trimming it, we can do dot trim, and notice it gets rid of the white space on either side, that space on either side. Okay, so if we run this, and then we do first name, I want you to notice something. It actually didn't do anything to it, okay? All it did was show the change. Now, if you want it to be permanent, okay, you have to overwrite first name. So the string is stored in the variable of first name, and it starts with a space before the word Robert, okay? And it has that ending. And again, we want to grab everything that's between there, between the spaces, and that's not going to be affected. So again, this trim only affects the white space. It doesn't require any other arguments, so we simply just call it, and it's going to get rid of it for us. Now, there are a few other useful methods that we can use here, and that would be, if I go here and we do, let's let word is equal to help me, I'm scared. Okay. Now, or I said word, it should be a sentence. So let's change that up to a sentence. So our variables make sense. Okay. So if we do sentence dot includes, let's say we want to see if it has an H in it. It's true because there is an H in help me, I'm scared. Now what happens if we tried to grab something like Z? Notice it is false. It does not contain anything, okay? Now we can also do something like, well, we have a first name. Okay, that's Robert, and notice it has some white space. And let's say that we want to put this all to lowercase. Okay. And notice now it's Robert, all lowercase. What if we wanted to maybe have this to, let's say, uppercase? Notice it puts it all Robert. Now, what if we do trim to lower? Notice what happens here. We can chain these together. We can trim this to get rid of the white space, and then we can do to lower. Okay, so we can also chain things together. Now, another fun thing to do is if we do let word is equal to one word. Okay, notice that one word here doesn't have anything on the side of it. We can actually pad it. So we can do word dot pad start here, and let's say number of, let's do 10, okay? All right, this returns a new string that has this first requirement, okay, number characters, and adds the char. So here, if we wanted to put in a string, so you can see if I highlight over this, it says max length. And if we looked here that this is length 10 now. And what if we wanted to fill it, let's say with $signs. Notice we only needed 2 more spaces at the beginning to keep it that length. So what if we wanted to make this, let's say 25. So now the length of the one word would be 25. Okay, that's its max length. Then we're filling in those spaces with $signs. Now, instead of start, we could also do end, and it does the same thing. Okay. So we can also do something like this. So let's do hello, and you can just attach it on to one, and you can say repeat here, and notice it says hello, hello, it repeated twice. So maybe you want to put in a space there so that it looks nicer, and you can repeat this 20 times or 100 times, okay? And so you can repeat things over and over and over again. And this is very useful whenever you want to maybe make some, eventually you can maybe start making some designs and everything else. The next thing let's talk about is escape sequences. So before we had talked a little bit about utilizing utilizing like a white space or something. So we could do something like hello in world. Now, this doesn't look like anything, okay? But this is an escape sequence, okay? So anything with this backslash and then something in front of it, okay, would be some sort of escape sequence. An escape sequence lets you put in some special things inside of JavaScript. And this actually is not just in JavaScript, it's a lot of other languages. So if we run that like that, this is what happens. But if we do console.log and we do hello new world, and we run this, notice it is now hello world, because this backslash in is for a new line. The escape sequence is interpreted as a line break between two words in the string. Now, we have a lot of other useful ones. We have a single quote, we have double quotes, we have actual backslash, we have new line, and we have tab. Now, each of these you can play with, but let's actually create up just one sentence that kind of encompasses a lot of them, okay? So let's do console.log, and we'll say here, what do we want? This string has double quotes, okay? And I have to put another slash there. And what this does, this allows us to actually see double quotes between our quotes, okay? So if I let that run, you see now it actually shows double quotes. Now we could, let me clear this and I'll bring it back. So, and some of you may be wondering how I'm getting this just to magically appear. I'm hitting up on my keyboard and to get the history. So I can go back and I can grab anything that we've done today just by hitting up a whole lot. So let's add something else to it. We can say and back slashes, okay? And you see now you can see a single backslash. Again, that's because we have an escape character here with the backslash. Now tab would put a tab in there and the same thing for others. Now, for a single quote though, you don't actually need to do this. You can just put, so you don't need to place escape slashes here. Okay, and that is because you have double quotes. If you had single quotes on the sides, you would need to have a backslash there for escape. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is utilizing templates. Now, templates are a fantastic way to utilize JavaScript, okay? So a template literal is a special kind of string that can evaluate any expression embedded within it. This gives you a lot of flexibility to dynamically populate a string with values of variables. So we have name is equal to Bob here, and we are using a template literal here. So and we also have some placeholder syntax. Now a template literal actually uses backticks, okay? And those are not quotes or backticks. Backticks are above your tab key next to the 1. And it has placeholder syntax, which looks like a $sign with squiggly brackets, okay? So let's give this a try, shall we? We can put in something like hello, let's say name. And notice now it is hello Bob. Okay, so we're able to take a variable and place it inside, and with the syntax, it will automatically fill it. Now let's change the name to Eli. Okay, and we can go back and rerun this, and notice now it is hello Eli. We can also put in actual numbers. So let's say your total cost comes to, and we'll do like 5 by 3 by 1.02. And we'll end that off with quotes. And notice your total cost comes to, and again, it has this amount. Now, if you wanted to, you could put in a $sign. And here, though, you would want an escape character with it. And so notice now you have your total cost comes to 15.3. Okay, and again, you can do some other math to make it nice. But you can do the same thing, though, by putting in, and you can make all kinds of interesting things. And you can think about this in any way you would eventually do a template. Okay, and I'll leave this here for today. If you guys like this content, please comment, subscribe, and click that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.